Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy from Kathy's Happy Garden. The summer is winding down, which means the summer vegetable beds now need to be switched out to winter vegetables. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get prepping the beds for our winter seeds, which will consist of lettuce, spinach, kale, and I think I might try broccoli. First, let's see what we have going on in the beds now before we start this transformation. In this bed, I have my spearmint and my orange mint. As you can see, the orange mint has gone to flower, and if I can find one, which I can, the bees are very, very happy gathering all that nectar. We're not going to do anything with this bed. Mint is a perennial for us here in Zone 8A. These will die down naturally and they will come back next spring. So we're just going to leave this bed alone so the bees can continue to pollinate, which will help me in the long run. This bed contained our green beans. We harvested 7 quarts of green beans this year. Bumper crop as far as I'm concerned, and I love green beans. But as you can see, they have succumbed to some type of caterpillar. You can see that the leaves and the branches have been chewed. So these are done. There are probably a few more on here. They will really amount to nothing, so we'll just let them go. And I have plenty of seed from last year, so I really don't need to collect any seed for next year. So we're just going to rip this out. We're going to replenish the bed with some mushroom compost that I got at my local box store. And this bed is going to hold our lettuce. This bed, I had tried my hand at pumpkins. However, none of them survived. I started them off as seedlings. I was going to transplant them and they all died. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe I just didn't give them enough water. We'll try again next year. In the meantime, I had some irises that I just needed to get in the ground, and so that's what I did. And I'm going to move those irises to my mint bed to hold them over until I'm ready to transplant them into their final location. This way I can use this bed for my spinach. This bed used to hold my kale and my spinach until they bolted in the high heat of the summer, at which point I ripped them out, and then I started using this bed as kind of a composter, which will help feed it for next year when I use it. We're not going to do anything with this bed. We're going to leave it alone, let all this die back, and then do something in the spring. This bed I have been using as a transplant bed. Right now, this bed is holding daylilies that I moved from the front yard and had no idea where to put them in the backyard. So they've just been sitting here. They bloomed. They look great. So I really didn't use this for any vegetables this year other than my garlic, which I did 3 heads. Got a good crop from those 3 cloves, got 3 good heads of garlic. So I will use this bed again for my garlic probably in the spring. Right now, we're not going to do anything with this other than leave the lilies here until I'm ready to transplant them out into the backyard, which I think I have found a space for. I'll show you that process when we get ready to do that, but that won't be until spring, so stay tuned. This bed, as you can see, holds my very terribly overgrown tomatoes. Completely my fault. I let them go, wasn't paying attention. However, we have some leftover tomatoes that are on the vine. Some of them are worth saving, some are not. So what I will need to do is I will need to prune this down. These are flowers that are on here. Because the summer is winding down, these will not amount to anything. So these are the kinds of prunings that I will do. If it doesn't have flowers on it, it's coming off. If it has flowers, They're probably coming off. I will remove broken branches and things like that to allow for more airflow and more sunlight, so that whatever crop we do have in here, which I'll find and I'll show you when I'm done pruning it, it will give that time to grow and to ripen, so that we can get our final harvest before this crop, before these tomatoes go completely to the ground. So I will show you that when I'm all finished. As I said, I went to the local box store. I got some mushroom compost, which we will top off each of the beds that I'm going to be using for my winter crops. I'll be topping it off because all the soil has been depleted of its nutrients over the summer, and we need to replenish those nutrients so that our winter crops can succeed. So once I do all that, I will show you the end result. Okay, so I got my first bed done, and what I did, because this is a raised bed, I went in with my garden fork first, and I turned over all the soil because it has become compacted over the summer. And so I wanted to get down as deep as I could to fluff out that soil, so when I plant my lettuce, the roots have, spaces to go, so they're not trying to push through compacted soil. When I was done with that, I sprinkled in my mushroom compost, and then I used my little hand tiller to work that back into the soil. Then I used my little hand spreader. It kind of like breaks up the dirt and stuff like that. It's like a rototiller, a handheld rototiller. And I came over and I did the top of it to break up any big lumps that were in the soil. Now, I also added, I have irrigation in this area. I don't use drip line because the beds in here are raised. And so the drip lines would just get this whole area saturated. And I don't want this whole area saturated. All I want are the beds to be watered. So we have this irrigation. And the reason I put this here is because when you're watering, you don't want to get your leaves wet, because that can promote leaf mold, and then you're going to lose your crop. So this actually helps. So when the sprayer goes on, when the water goes on, it sprays inside this container. All it is a water container. It's a gallon water jug that I just cut the bottom off and the top is off, and I set it inside and made a little pool in the center, set it down in there, put my head in here up through the center, filled it with rocks to help with drainage. And so now when I water this garden, the only place this water will go is into the soil. It will not get on the leaves, to prevent rot and to prevent leaf mold. So that's one of the reasons why I do this, and I find it's pretty efficient. It just goes right down, waters the roots, because that's really what you want to do. You want to water the roots, especially when you have seedlings and seeds. You don't want to, of course, I'm going to water the seeds in when I plant them at first, and I'll keep them watered, but then as the seedlings start to grow, the only thing I want to get water is the roots, because I don't want to damage the seedlings. So that's why I've done this neat little trick. I just grabbed some stones from my fire pit area, put them in the bottom for stability and for additional drainage. And that's all I did there. So now we'll move on to this bed. We'll do the exact same process. On a side note, there were a few straggling green beans that were left over that were in good condition. So I went ahead and grabbed those, and I'll add them to one of my quart bags that are sitting in the freezer right now. So still was able to harvest the last little bit of the end of the season. Okay, so the second bed is done. Remember, I told you I had the irises in this bed. So what I did was I moved them to the bed that has the mint in it. Here they are. I was very careful. I really didn't want to disturb the bees, but I was able to get them in there. The reason this one right here is marked is because it's a different color. These are all white irises. I believe this one is a yellow one, so that's why I wanted to mark it. They will go out in the main garden come spring. Now we're going to move on to this monstrosity. So we're going to prune it back pretty hard. It's probably going to look really, really scrawny and straggly, but whatever tomatoes are left on there will be able to ripen. And then I will collect them probably a week from now, if not sooner. So I'll show you what this looks like when I'm done. Okay, so after pruning my tomatoes, as you can see, they are really just scraggly. I threw away more debris than I thought I would need to. So what I'm going to do, there are some tomatoes on here. They are salvageable. They are starting to turn. I don't know if you can see them under here. There we go. And there's a lot down here too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to harvest the last tomatoes that I can. There's a group here. And I will just put them in the kitchen in a bowl. And as time goes on, they'll ripen inside the house on a sunny windowsill. And then I'm just going to pull these out and I will prep this bed for my winter crop. So I'm going to finish that. Well, okay, that job is done. And this is the final harvest of our tomatoes. Wow, I got a lot more than I expected. If they were anything smaller than this, I went ahead and tossed them, but I will go in and wash them and put them on the windowsill, let them ripen, and we'll just continue to eat them as they ripen throughout the next couple weeks. So the garden beds are done. So we will be doing, again, lettuce, spinach, kale, and I think we might do broccoli this year. I think we might. So that was my project for today. I am completely done. It is so hot out here. I am going to go in and take advantage of the air conditioning. So I will do one more project, which is clean the bird bath. The birds have been after me to clean the bird bath and fill it. They don't have any water left, so that's the last thing I'll do. Other than that, I'll most likely call it a day. So one last thing before I go, these are the seeds that I will be using for my winter garden this year. And of course I have my labels to make sure I label everything so I know what they are and I know where they are. I thank you for joining me today. If you liked this video, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. To all those people who have already subscribed, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I do this for fun and for no other reason, in the hopes to teach new gardeners something new, provide ideas for seasoned gardeners that maybe they never thought of. And I'm just going to pan around and show you the garden as it winds down for the summer. I hope you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I will talk to you at my next project. Have a great day, everybody.